I'd like to make the motion to adjourn the meeting.
We're here to handle the business, not let the business handle us. That's what we are elected to do, sir. So please.
It's her fault. It's her problem, her responsibility, and she failed. She's failed.
In a small Chicago suburb, Tiffany Henyard, the self-proclaimed super mayor, finds herself at the center of a growing political firestorm. Allegations of unpaid rent, misuse of taxpayer funds, and even the possibility of legal action have fueled the controversy. Township meetings, once meant for governance, have devolved into spectacles of Tiffany's dramatic antics, overshadowing real issues. As tensions rise, Illinois politics takes another unpredictable turn, leaving residents caught between spectacle and accountability, wondering what the future holds for their community.
South suburban Dalton today. First, the state comptroller has suspended some payments to the village because it has failed to follow the law by providing financial.
Elected mayor of Dalton in 2021, Tiffany Henyard has become one of the most polarizing figures in local politics. She faces accusations of extravagant spending with taxpayer funds and allegedly using law enforcement as her personal security detail. Adding to the controversy, Henyard is now facing eviction from her own home for failing to pay rent, despite earning nearly $300,000 annually as both mayor and town supervisor. Since August, neither Henyard nor her boyfriend, Kamal Woods, have now made any rent payments, prompting landlord Janetta Hall to take legal action and file for eviction after months of non-payment.
In Thornton Township, the board and citizens looking for accountability to their finances while the township
Tiffany Henyard's leadership style resembles that of a reality TV villain more than a public servant, with controversy following her at every turn. One of the most explosive disputes involves her landlord, Janetta Hall, who claims Henyard and her partner, Cam Woods, owe thousands in unpaid rent. Adding to the outrage, the couple allegedly changed the house locks and garage code to keep Hall from accessing the property. Facing potential foreclosure, Hall is furious, insisting that at this point, the issue is no longer just about money. She simply wants them out. But Henyard's troubles don't stop there. She is also locked in a heated battle with Dalton's trustees, who accuse her of falsifying checks, withholding financial documents, and mismanaging public funds. The feud reached new heights when Henyard took to Facebook Live for nearly 90 minutes, announcing she would seek the arrests of her political opponents, though she failed to specify any crimes. As tensions escalate, both sides are slinging accusations of corruption, and the trustees have even filed a lawsuit against her. Unfazed, Henyard appears to embrace the chaos, doubling down on her defiant rhetoric and fueling a political crisis that shows no signs of slowing down.
But it's just something we felt important that had to be done, that should be done. So, but like I said, just...
The irony in Tiffany Henyard's situation is impossible to ignore. The same mayor who was exposed earlier this year for spending tens of thousands of taxpayer dollars on first-class flights, luxury hotels, and fine dining in cities like New York and Atlanta is now accusing her opponents of corruption. Henyard, currently under federal investigation for her lavish spending and alleged misuse of public funds, has drawn scrutiny for her own financial habits. A shocking report revealed that she spent an astonishing $43,000 on Amazon in a single day, far from the office supplies she claimed, raising suspicions of a taxpayer-funded shopping spree. Her reckless spending has even caught the attention of former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot, who was assigned to investigate Dalton's financial affairs. The findings were staggering. Under Henyard's leadership, the village's general fund balance plummeted from $561 million in 2022 to a staggering $365 million deficit by May 2024, a jaw-dropping $9 million decline in less than 2 years.
Appointment. That's what the trustees I talked to are calling this. They say the news took them by surprise, and now they're talking to legal counsel to figure out their next.
The village of Dalton is now in crisis, thanks to Tiffany Henyard's reckless spending spree, which has not only damaged its reputation, but also left local businesses struggling to stay afloat. In one particularly alarming revelation, 589 checks totaling over $6 million were printed but never sent to vendors, leaving critical services unpaid and disrupted. With federal authorities now reportedly investigating Dalton's finances, it's clear these issues are far from over. Henyard's opponents argue that her actions make one thing clear. She prioritizes her own lavish lifestyle over the well-being of the very community she was elected to serve.
Are not paying whatever that vendor is.
What was it for?
It was for shirts. That's what it's for.
Does Tiffany Henyard express any regret for Dalton's financial crisis? Of course not. Instead, she continues to portray herself as the town's self-appointed savior. In a recent Facebook tirade, she dismissed her critics as jealous and cryptically promised to reveal the whole truth later, an announcement that felt more like a soap opera plot twist than a serious political statement. She even suggested that the accusations against her were merely a distraction from her opponent's own corruption, asking, "Why do we have all this attention on Tiffany Henyard?" As if she were the innocent target of a grand conspiracy. Meanwhile, Dalton residents are left questioning how they ended up with a mayor more focused on playing the victim than solving real problems. The village is grappling with urgent issues, from water main breaks to unpaid vendors, all while an overburdened police force is diverted to act as Henyard's personal security detail. Despite it all, she insists that her extravagant spending somehow benefits the community, leaving many skeptical of where her true priorities lie.
Absolutely not guilty of all 9 counts. I believe he's cooperating. And if you cooperate, you have to admit.
A startling investigation uncovered that Dalton's village credit cards were used for everything from luxury furniture to taxpayer-funded trips to Las Vegas. Adding to the spectacle, Henyard's face appeared on billboards across town, making it seem as though Dalton was her personal playground. One of the most shocking examples of her spending came in the form of an extravagant $85,000 party featuring rapper Jay Holiday and singer K. Michelle, all while the town's finances were in free fall. Despite the mounting crisis, Henyard's actions continue to reflect a troubling disregard for the very community she was elected to serve.
One day purchase of over $40,000 to Amazon. And the main thing is,
just when it seemed things couldn't get any more chaotic, the latest meeting in Henyard's township spiraled into what can only be described as a live-action dumpster fire. Intended to address essential township business, the meeting quickly devolved into chaos as Henyard clashed with the trustees. In a particularly petty move, she blocked Trustee Kororo from participating remotely, citing safety concerns for her absence, despite Kororo having valid reasons for not attending in person. Henyard dismissed her colleagues' concerns with blatant snobbery, refusing to allow virtual participation. This is just one example of how utterly dysfunctional these meetings have become under her leadership.
That you are up here at this special meeting and not downstairs.
Tiffany Henyard's latest township meeting was nothing short of a spectacle, with her dictatorial approach on full display. Attempting to push proceedings forward without discussion, violating parliamentary procedure, she even seconded her own motion when no one else would. As the meeting unraveled, it became evident that she was more interested in grandstanding than governance. When Trustee Chris Gonzalez had enough and walked out, Henyard quickly spun a narrative, claiming he had neglected his duties, while conveniently ignoring how her actions had caused the collapse in the first place. Frustration among Dalton residents continues to grow, with online commenters calling for her removal, labeling her the town's worst enemy. Despite the scandals, financial mismanagement, and reports of an FBI investigation into her spending, Henyard has announced her bid for re-election, defiantly posting on Facebook as if the past years of controversy never happened. Her political opponents, including the trustworthy Jason House, are rallying to challenge her, but Henyard seems determined to hold on to power at all costs. With financial records suggesting she hasn't raised much campaign money, her re-election effort raises serious concerns about what happens when a leader treats public office as their personal playground. The saga of Tiffany Henyard highlights the dangers of unchecked power and the consequences of a mayor who prioritizes personal gain over the well-being of the community. Will she manage to hold on to her position despite mounting scandals? Or is this the beginning of her downfall? The people of Dalton deserve better, and their voices in the next election could determine whether Henyard's reign continues or comes to a dramatic end.